Hey, welcome back to Say More from Both Sides Podcast, another episode 4. Today, we are going to be talking about letting it all go, releasing all the weight. And we have a quote that we attached to this episode, and it says, maybe the next chapter doesn't start with something new, but when we finally let go. And just thinking about that, just holding on to things can allow us to create baggage that we never needed. Letting go and going through those tough and confusing seasons allows us time to reflect and learn. During that time, we basically let ourselves grow into joy and we embrace growth. We have growing pains. There's changes that come with it, and this can be related to anybody and anything: friends, job, opportunities, relationships, families. It don't even matter. Um, we often learn about us and our forgiving process. I feel like when forgiving, it can be a big thing to some people, and it's really done for yourself. And I think after that, you truly start to feel better, because it's like a chapter legit closed. Like it's over with, it's in the past, we're moving forward. And at that time, you'll start being more focused on you have a brighter outlook on things. Hopefully, you see the bright side, and that's when your glow starts coming back. You start feeling better, looking better physically. It just comes back to you.
I definitely agree, and I do have a story I want to tell, and maybe Tay would like to tell one of hers. I remember my dad. Like, I called my dad about a certain situation with one of my son's dads, um, and I was telling him what was going on or whatever. And anybody that knows, like, my family and the situation that goes on, everybody knows I'm my dad's favorite pretty much. So when I told him this, I don't know, he just snapped on me, like, and I was in shock because he never, like, even so much as cusses me out, even if I'm saying something or doing something wrong. So, basically, he was just telling me, like, I don't know why you keep dealing with this. You deserve better. You're doing everything on your own. So why are you still dealing with this? And him telling me that, it was a shock, but also it like flipped a switch in my head. Like, I don't know. I feel like for certain people in your life that you care about need to tell you this, because maybe it'll sound different when it comes from them. So
Hmm.
it just flipped a switch in my head, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And I ended up texting him, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. Um, we're done. I hope you have a nice life. And I was also dating someone else at the time. So that kind of I feel like my dad put the icing on the cake for me to just let that go. Like, it no longer serves me at this point. We're not doing it for the kids. We don't need to be a family. We just need to go our separate ways. So, yeah, I let that go and I never look back.
I hear you. I feel that. And maybe it was just, maybe, God was like, I know she gonna listen to her dad, so let me
Yeah.
ask her this. Yes, for real. I think, okay, for me, I'm not gonna say no names on my end. But I had to let go of a long term friendship. Um, Reasons being, I just feel like there was times where I felt like she did not have my back. It would just be like kind of slick remarks being made, and I just felt like this friend was not supportive, didn't show up for me. And also, when they say there's some truth in jokes, I feel like
Mm.
it was a few of those. And it was just no effort on their end to being that was put into the friendship. And not only did I peep these things, but I say my mom even peeped some stuff. And, we had talked about some things. And this wasn't just like over a short period of time, this was accumulating. And once I had let that go, it just gave me a reflection of, again, like about me trying to fix things. So that was just another example that everything can't be fixed. I would try, because I feel like if a bond is meaningful and deep to me and I care about our friendship, then of course I'm gonna try. I'm just not just gonna throw you to the side. We're gonna talk about it, be mature. We're gonna try. But it got to a point where it was just like, you know what? Yeah, you really don't care. You just being different, acting different, and I just had to let that go, let it be.
Yes, and I also feel like we just need to stop being Mr. and Mrs. Clean. Like we're always trying to fix and clean up messes that we didn't even make in the first place. So that's
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's one thing. So what do you feel like you're holding on to?
Holding on to, okay, so I say the positive things that I'm gonna continue to hold on to is my faith, hope, love, peace, and myself. There were times where I've lost those and I have them back now, so I'm gonna hold on tight to them. Um, as of anything specific though, nothing right now, nothing negative. I'm trying to keep that energy away, honestly. Um, but I'm also glad that I am not the type to hold grudges. I will talk about a situation as long as I need to for whatever, just to help me release and process things. But I never hold a grudge. I, forget, let it go, and just let stuff be. Things get too draining, I feel like, when you hold a grudge. And I've been around some people, close knit people that hold grudges, and it's just not. It just seems like it's just too much. Like they just have a negative cloud, and they just act like something's heavy and bothering them all the time, and it's just like I'm just glad I'm not like that.
Okay, okay. One thing about me though, I'm a hold a grudge.
Girl.
It depends. It depends on the situation too. Um, I feel like I'm holding on to the older version of myself. And I say that because I play back memories and I wish I could go back to the person that I used to be. But I also realize that that girl is gone and I really don't want to be her because I feel like I tolerated a lot of, you know, disrespect and just, I just tolerated too much from people. And I'm trying hard to get out of that situation because me doing that also led to certain things happening too, but I feel like it hurted me more than it hurt the other person. But I can't speak for them, so they probably felt the same way as well. But um, I just feel like I outgrew that purpose, that version of myself. So I'm just
Mm,
trying to let go of that version that's no longer serving me. So that's how I feel about that. But I'm not really holding on to anything really for real either.
okay, so are you healing from anything, or have you started your healing process? What are you doing with that?
I feel like I am healing, but I feel like I healed as far as within myself. I feel like I just need to take the next step, and I feel like that's why therapy is next. But I also I'm still healing from the version of me that accepted a lot of things that happened. Um, I ignored my intuition a lot. Constantly gave everybody a chance, chance after chance, and my biggest thing was giving people green flags, knowing that the flags was red. Like it was in my
Mm,
face all the time. But I just refused to see the red. It's like I turned it green and it just went right back red. So, um,
I feel you. Like we
yeah,
become colorblind.
yeah. And then just mourning people who are still alive, but we're just in our own world and they're not the person, or I may not even be the person that they thought I would be. So, and I'm also healing from the consequences of my actions as well. I feel like sometimes the pain that we carry comes from us, not listening to
Mhm.
ourselves. So, yeah, I got a couple of things I'm healing from, but I just feel like the next step is therapy. So, yeah. What about you?
I agree about what you said about what you say again. You said about uh from healing from ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I had to go through. I had to heal from myself and from other people, and that just goes back to like just being comfortable like with the boundaries we set and making our decisions and things like that. So I definitely agree on that part. And with that being said, at this moment, no, I'm not healing from anything anymore. I that literally was my whole 2025 up until up until now. I just went through a deep healing phase, girl, crying for 4.5 months. Girl, I'm feeling every emotion. Um, I did some stuff, and the other person did some stuff, and then it just got me thinking about other things, and it's just now I'm just embracing the new, basically. Learning to open up more and speak up just because I'm just so used to keeping so much in and just keeping so much private. And it's just funny that, this podcast is happening now because I feel like that's something that I really needed to work on after healing. So I feel like this is just helping me get out of my head and working on like communication, partnership, and attentiveness, drive, and things like that. So that's been my healing journey. But right now, I am just blessed to be living in answered prayers, and I am at peace with what is, with what was, and I just ready for what is coming my way.
Yes, I definitely agree. Next question. How does forgiveness play a role in letting go?
I feel like when it comes to letting go, I feel like forgiveness with some people, it helps release the emotions. It gets maybe, well, I ain't gonna say get rid of it, but it just helps release like your anger, your confusion, resentment, hate. Hopefully, it gives you some type of clarity, some type of clarification. I think sometimes, again, like how you said, when it comes to forgiveness, that we need to forgive ourselves for things that we did and even things that we did not do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and forgiveness can help some people not relive the past. It can help some people detach, get back attached to yourself, get back focused on yourself. Don't feel so stuck in the past. Focus on what's ahead. And I think even going back to releasing emotions, it just, I feel like, can help you overall with your well-being, emotionally, mentally, physically. And because some people be no shade, they be looking rough, and it's just a blessing that we don't look like what we be going through, and that's just that's just good. So I feel like forgiveness can just help, basically overall help you move towards more a more positive view of life, hopefully.
I agree. Um, I feel like I'm a cause of frenzy, but I just feel like forgiveness does not is not required in order to let go. Um, I feel like that "I forgive you" phrase is being used too loosely from a lot of people. I feel like it gives people an opportunity to hurt you as well when you say "I forgive you," knowing that you're going to hold that over their head, or you're going to be watching them like a hawk, or whatever the case may be, whatever the situation is. For me, I feel like healing isn't always forgiveness, is setting a boundary, like you said. I feel like I don't hate anybody, but you're not going to get access to me anymore. I'm not going to reopen that door.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like peace comes from you, not from someone else. So,
Mm-hmm.
me finally choosing myself, I feel like that's my forgiveness for me, instead of choosing to forgive that person.
Facts. I agree. Definitely peace is within, and even finding joy is within. Finding joy after that sadness. And that remind me, this okay, so this dude that I was talking to some years ago was in my DM trying to come back around, how they be talking. And he was just like, I'm telling him no. And at this point it's just no more explanation, no more talking to be done. It's just no. And so he's just like, you need to learn to forgive, and you need to come back to me, da 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 da. And I'm like, first of all, I forgave you a long time ago, but I don't fuck with you no more. I don't mess with you. The answer is just no. I forgave you a long time ago, and I've been let that go. And I just feel like sometimes when people say that, I feel like maybe they need to. I feel like sometimes people can be projecting. I feel like maybe they need to forgive themselves or whatever, or they need the other person to say it just to validate the forgiveness or whatever. But I'm just like, sir, I just don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to come back to you. The answer is still no. Like, it's just, we're done, and that's that. Been
I know.
done.
I agree with that. I ended up telling a dude, and this is harsh. Back then, I don't know, my words was a little crazy. I'm not like that anymore. But this dude had told me, "Oh, you need to forgive, and God doesn't like ugly." And my response to him was, and it's so harsh. I was very, very. I feel like I was so mean a couple of years ago. I'm definitely not like that anymore. Um, but I basically said, God forgives, I don't, and you're saying that God don't like ugly, but yet you're still here.
Ooh.
And yeah, that was so mean. But like, I just hate the people who use that word are the ones that does the stuff, the drama, and does the stuff, and want you to forgive them. I just don't rock with the forgive word. I feel like it's happened to me too many times. So me and that word, I don't really mess with it for real.
But you're not wrong though, because you call them out on their stuff, like you project them, but you not good yourself. So what you talking about?
Mm, facts, facts.
So what's the difference between giving grace and accepting disrespect?
I feel like giving grace is for people who like genuinely make a mistake. Like, for instance, say you're with a group of friends and this one friend says something that triggers you, and then like the other friend, gives them the backstory and like they genuinely didn't know and they apologize for that. I feel like that's what giving grace is. Um, I feel like that's for people who really don't know you, and who's trying to get to know you a little bit better. But I feel like the disrespect comes from people that you know and you care about. They know what to say, they know how to say it, they know what words will hurt you, and they know, basically what buttons to push. So I just feel like at that point, it doesn't become a mistake, it becomes a choice. So I just, I'm here for giving grace, but I don't feel like it means continuing to accept disrespect. I feel like people get those two confused.
Definitely do.
So, like I said before, I'll give you grace, but at some point you start getting disrespectful, your access is denied. So, denied, denied, denied. I'm not playing.
Yeah. And going back to what you said about like being genuine, sometimes you be like, how do you know someone's being genuine? But that's just where discernment come into play too. But I digress. But also, like with accepting disrespect, I agree with what you said too, and I feel like that's when people overstep boundaries, and it's just something that's constantly done. Like they're just not considering anything about you anymore. Um, just repeated mistreatment, and that just comes into play where we all need to make sure we set good, healthy boundaries, a good balance between grace and boundaries. And as I stated earlier, when you create your boundaries, make sure you are comfortable with the boundaries you've set, make sure you're okay,
Mm-hmm.
and stand strong, stand 10 toes about your boundaries. Don't fold for nobody. Um, and I think that even when it comes to giving grace, to try our best not to choose resentment. Try to just get out of that headspace and just just make a decision that's good for you, that you're okay with internally.
I definitely agree with that. Yes, please stand on business. So, what are your fears and anxieties of letting go?
So personally for me, it's always the triggers like of things that remind me of the past, like a certain setting or anything like even a song, even a movie, something. It just will allow me to revisit the past. But overall, I think with a lot of people, it's usually the fear of the unknown. We often think about, well, what's the chance of this happening again? Like whether something good or bad. Like what's the chance of it happening again? Um, the wins and the changes that even come with it. And I feel like with some people, there's a fear of regret and a fear of surrendering. There's that, well, what if feeling, that overthinking starts to come in. You are just anxious about what's going to happen. What can you do about it? And I think another big one is the cost of time. We often think about, well, was time wasted, or oh, I should have done this earlier, or if I would have done this instead, then this probably would have been the outcome. And I think that when we let go, when it comes to our fears and anxieties, we're not supposed to be afraid. And I think that's where faith comes into play as well. um, just knowing that the The bad feeling never lasts long because the best is yet to come. Pain is temporary, and faith can help us embrace the new. Give us something to look forward to, hope for things that are unseen.
Okay, okay. I definitely agree as far as songs too. Like it's a certain songs I just cannot listen to. It just triggers that. I don't know. It just triggers me, and I just have to skip it. I got a
Hmm.
couple songs like that. Um, I feel like the fears and anxieties. I feel like the biggest fear of that is losing control of the story. Um, we create this picture in our head about how things are supposed to go, and accepting the story, but not understanding that our ending may not be the ending that actually happens, if that makes sense. And then I also feel like for narcissists and people who like being in control, that just brings out a totally different side of them that's like very scary. Um, and then I also feel like when you let go, it just brings anxiety. It brings the sadness, the loneliness, especially because you come become accustomed to, whatever's causing you that pain, that hurt, or that's making you resort to letting them go or letting family, friend, it doesn't matter. So I just feel like um, we just need to realize that we're just making room for the version that we're becoming. So I just feel like we just need to. I feel like that's what comes with fear and anxiety is losing that control over the story we had in our heads, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I definitely feel you on making capacity, making room for things to come in. And I just want to piggyback off what you said too, about people letting go and the like attachment. I think that some people get anxiety and fear of dependency. Like they get so afraid, like, oh, well, I'm so used to this person. Like, how will, and it's not always materialistic, but like, I'm so used to them being around. Like, how am I going to feel this, feel this void, or it's too quiet, or, things like that. And I feel like some people, they just get nervous for that. Like they don't know how to really be by themselves, make themselves happy, stuff like that. And then also want to piggyback on what you said when you said controlling and expecting an outcome. And that just makes me think, like, when it comes to expectations, yes, have expectations and standards, because you want to, you expecting something. But when it comes to that, don't, I guess I'm thinking now, like, don't pre-write the story, but let the story write itself. Like let it happen. Because like you said, when you expect so much, you focus on the result and you try to control it just to make that result happen. And then it's like, sometimes you self-sabotage, or things just get out of whack. So
I definitely agree with that. And I just want to add on to that because it just popped in my head. I also feel like people um, have fear and anxiety of letting a person go that was always good to them because they
mm,
know that the people that they show up for, they're not gonna do the same for them as opposed to that person who they are constantly disrespecting and just doing wrong by them. So I just feel like that fear and anxiety of losing your valuable player, the person that's always there for you, always comes through no matter what. Like y'all could be into it. If you call that person's going to drop everything and come be there for you. So I think that's also a thing as well. Losing that person that's valuable to you, that's always been there. But if you're not doing right by that person and they want to let you go, I mean, they have every right to.
Right, right. And ooh, see, I be watching too much Fatal Attraction. So when you let go, you gotta be careful. Some of these people is wild.
Hmm. Yeah, they are
Be careful.
definitely wild.
So accept how do you accept temporary moments to help you appreciate things in life more?
I feel like it makes you, slow down and stop taking everything for granted. You also appreciate the little things. And I just feel like it makes you humble to um receive the things that are going to come. That's going to be bigger, that's going to be better. And it also makes you appreciate the people who are around you in that moment. Um I could just speak from experience. People are really here today and gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like that's important to also recognize the people who are with you during those moments, good or bad. Just appreciate it more. So I just feel like letting go isn't the idea that everything's gonna be is supposed to last forever, but once you accept that, you'll start living a little bit differently. I feel like so. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think that brought me back to the thought of like the expectations and just letting things right out for itself. And I totally agree with what you said about um, slowing down, being more in the moment, being more attentive in the present, um, and just being okay with what's happening now. Paying attention to what we have now, to what's in front of us, and just it also helps us create clear memories. Moments don't last always. We're paying attention to the smaller things in life, the sometimes the finer things in life, the more special things in life. So i think I think that will also help us become humble, like you said, and just be more appreciative for everything.
Okay, I definitely agree with that. Um, I feel like this whole little episode here just, I don't know, it makes you realize a lot of things that you need to work on, and I feel like for me, a lot of more things that I need to kind of just let go and not hold a grudge on. But we will see about that last part because I'm quick to hold a grudge. Um, Mental check in. How are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling good. I'm tired though, but I've been sticking to my routine, so I'm proud of myself. So I really just been trying to just focus on that, just stay busy in a positive way. But I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm here. What about you?
Same. For the most part, I'm tired, and the heat. Um,
Oh, it's hot in the mud.
it's hot this week.
It's
It's
hot.
hot and it's steamy. And it just makes everything exhausting and tired. Like I was tired just coming up the stairs to come in the house. And I only got a little bit of steps. I don't even have to walk that far. But yeah, that's how I kind of feel. I'm tired. I'm ready for this heat to be over. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, I'm ready
I'm
for the
ready for
weekend
like,
too.
yes, off on Friday. I'm ready for like, I want the weather to be the 70s, 80s.
I can
I
deal
can
with the
deal with that.
80s.
Yeah. Because the
Yeah.
70s, it don't be The 80s, you could it's good. Like that's good. And then the 70s, it's like it ain't too cold, it ain't too hot. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'll say about 75 to about 83.
82, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is perfect weather. Is it anything that you are watching or anything, or is just the same stuff?
Nah, it's the same stuff. I be trying to find like movies here and there, but I be having like my set shows, honestly, that I be looking forward to. So like Zatima, The Queen's Men, what else I'll be watching? The Shy, Raising Kanan. I love the Power series. Um, yeah, and then just in between like some movies I'll be finding. I did just get done watching The Polygamist though. That was good. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. I just refuse to watch it.
I kind of figured I knew what was gonna happen, but it was good though. I watched it in 2 days. That's another thing. I'm a binge watcher. I can binge watch. So especially if I find a show I really like.
Yeah, me too. But you watch all 22 episodes of that?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I
yeah.
finished it because I had a chill weekend. Girl, I ain't do nothing.
Yeah, no. I don't know. My spirit just tells me not to watch that. That's not something I need to watch. Um, but I've been listening ever since that versus battle. I've been on Pretty Ricky like crazy.
That battle,
Crazy.
that battle was so funny. I knew almost every Pretty Ricky song.
Yes. Well, I knew all the B2K songs too though. But I don't know, Pretty Ricky just hit different. And then just looking back, like I think I was in like fifth grade when they came out. So
Yeah,
like
middle school, girl, we was young.
yeah, we really did not have any type of business listening to them at all. So
That's what I told
yeah.
my mom. I said, Mom, we were so young listening to that stuff.
Yes. I think that album came out in 2005.
But when you be with your older cousins or siblings, they used to play all that. So
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. But yeah, I've been playing them like crazy. I'm glad about that versus battle because it gave them the recognition that they deserve. Like that was a good era
it
for
was,
them.
it
It was a
was.
good era.
We grew up in a good era
We definitely did.
with TV, with
Music.
technology starting. Yup, music.
Oh my God, MySpace. Oh, I need me a
Ooh,
MySpace.
girl, I didn't. I wasn't even supposed to have one, but my cousin, she hooked me up with MySpace, and then look, Facebook. Yep, make me a Facebook too, cuz.
Yeah, no, I definitely had a MySpace. My mom knew, and then I had a couple of family members on there. But yes, uh, please take us back,
Yeah,
cause this is ghetto.
girl, you used to switch that background. I used to switch
Yes,
my
put that
background every week.
music.
Yep. Get your friend rating. Girl, yes, the statuses. That's crazy.
We low key need a MySpace back.
Remember LimeWire?
Oh my God, if I could have that right now, they don't
Girl,
understand.
remember them
They don't
MP3
understand.
them MP3s and making CDs?
Yes. The iPods. That's what LimeWire was for. Get my music to put on my iPod.
And
Yep.
yeah.
Ah, Lord Jesus.
And then remember YouTube used to be like all dancing videos.
Yes, while I can.
Dancing and fighting videos, yep.
World Star, while I can. The Reawakening. If you know, you know.
Yep. Oh
If you
Lord.
know, you know.
That had everybody in a chokehold.
Yes, it did. Okay. All right, y'all. On a serious note, I feel like first of all, thank you all for listening. If you haven't listened to the other episodes, please go listen to them. Um, if there's one thing I hope you take away from today's conversation, it's this. Sometimes letting go isn't losing, it's making room for what's meant for you. Whatever you've been carrying, I hope you give yourself permission to put it down. Thank you for saying more with us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, everybody.